An ambitious target, China's economic vision for 2025. This vision is not just a plan but a comprehensive roadmap designed to steer the nation towards a prosperous future. China has set its sights on an ambitious economic growth target of 5% for 2025. This target, while seemingly modest compared to past growth rates, is a strategic move to ensure long-term stability and sustainability. This goal reflects the nation's determination to maintain a steady pace of expansion amidst a complex global landscape. The bustling streets and vibrant stock exchanges are a testament to the country's dynamic economic activities. Achieving this target will require China to navigate a multitude of challenges, including ongoing trade tensions with the United States. These tensions have created a volatile environment, making it crucial for China to adopt flexible and adaptive strategies, and the need to rebalance its economy towards domestic consumption. Encouraging local spending and boosting consumer confidence are key components of this strategy. The 5% target, while ambitious, is lower than China's historical growth rates. This reflects a shift from the breakneck speed of past decades to a more measured and sustainable pace of development. This adjustment acknowledges the evolving global economic order and the need for more sustainable growth patterns. Economists and policymakers are increasingly aware that the old model of relentless growth is no longer viable. China's leaders recognize that relying solely on export-oriented growth will not be sufficient in the long run. Diversifying the economy and reducing dependency on exports is essential for future resilience. This new economic vision emphasizes innovation, technological advancement, and a greater reliance on domestic demand. By fostering a culture of innovation, China aims to become a global leader in technology and science. It represents a significant shift in China's economic thinking, moving away from the high-growth model of the past towards a more balanced and sustainable approach. This shift is evident in the policies being discussed and implemented at the highest levels of government, moving away from the high-growth model of the past towards a more balanced and sustainable approach. Emphasizing green energy and sustainable urban development, China is not only looking to grow, but to grow responsibly, ensuring that future generations inherit a healthy and thriving environment. Premier Li Qiang's address to the National People's Congress carried significant weight, as it set the stage for the government's economic strategy for the coming year. His speech was not just a routine address, but a comprehensive outline of the priorities and challenges that lie ahead for China. Li Qiang meticulously outlined the government's economic strategy for the coming year, emphasizing the need for a balanced approach that ensures both stability and growth. This dual focus is crucial as China navigates a complex global economic landscape. Li emphasized the importance of maintaining stability while pursuing growth, a theme that resonated throughout his speech. He pointed out that stability is the bedrock upon which sustainable growth can be built, especially in times of global economic uncertainty. Highlighting key areas of focus for the Chinese economy, Li Qiang identified several sectors that would receive special attention. These include technology, innovation, and domestic consumption, all of which are seen as pivotal for China's future economic trajectory. Expanding China's middle class and increasing household incomes are crucial drivers of economic growth. By boosting the purchasing power of its citizens, China aims to create a more robust and self-sustaining economy. We must bolster domestic consumption and recognize the limitations of relying heavily on exports in an increasingly uncertain global trade environment. This shift towards a consumption-driven economy is seen as a necessary adaptation to global economic trends. One of the central themes of Li's speech was the need to bolster domestic consumption. He argued that a strong domestic market would not only insulate China from global economic shocks, but also provide a stable foundation for long-term growth. He underscored the importance of expanding China's middle class and increasing household incomes as crucial drivers of economic growth. By doing so, the government hopes to create a virtuous cycle of consumption and production that benefits all sectors of the economy. Innovation and technological self-reliance are essential. In his speech, Li Qiang stressed that China must not only catch up with global technological standards, but also set new benchmarks in various high-tech fields. We must invest in research and development, particularly in strategic sectors such as semiconductors and artificial intelligence. These areas are seen as the future engines of economic growth and are critical for maintaining China's competitive edge on the global stage. This focus on domestic demand reflects a recognition of the limitations of relying heavily on exports. As global trade becomes more unpredictable, a strong domestic market can provide a buffer against external shocks. In an increasingly uncertain global trade environment, diversifying the economic base is not just a strategy, but a necessity. By reducing its dependence on exports, China aims to build a more resilient and adaptable economy. Li also stressed the importance of innovation and technological self-reliance. He highlighted that in a world where technological advancements are rapidly changing the economic landscape, China must be at the forefront of these changes. He called for greater investment in research and development, particularly in strategic sectors such as semiconductors and artificial intelligence. These investments are seen as crucial for China to not only keep pace with global technological trends, but to lead them. This emphasis on technological advancement is seen as vital for China to move up the value chain and enhance its global competitiveness. By focusing on high-tech industries, China aims to transition from being the world's factory to becoming a global leader in innovation and technology. US-China trade tensions have cast a long shadow over the global economy, creating uncertainty and disrupting established trade patterns. The ripple effects of these tensions are felt far and wide, influencing not just the two major economies involved, but also the global supply chains and markets that depend on their stability.
The tariffs imposed on Chinese goods by the United States have had a tangible impact on Chinese exporters, forcing them to adjust their strategies and seek new markets. Many businesses have had to rethink their production and distribution models, often at significant cost. This has led to a period of adaptation and transformation within the Chinese export sector, as companies strive to maintain their competitive edge in a challenging environment. These trade frictions have also contributed to a slowdown in global trade and investment. The uncertainty surrounding trade policies has made businesses more cautious, leading to delays in investment decisions and a general slowdown in economic activity. This has had a cascading effect, impacting not just the US and China, but also other economies that are interconnected through global trade networks.
The trade war initiated by the previous US administration has led to higher costs for businesses and consumers on both sides of the Pacific. Companies have had to navigate a complex web of tariffs and trade barriers, which has increased the cost of doing business. Consumers, in turn, have faced higher prices for goods, ranging from electronics to everyday household items, as the additional costs are often passed down the supply chain. While the current US administration has adopted a more measured approach, tensions remain high, and the tariffs have yet to be fully lifted. The ongoing negotiations and diplomatic efforts have brought some relief, but the underlying issues remain unresolved. This has created a climate of ongoing uncertainty, with businesses and investors closely monitoring developments and adjusting their strategies accordingly.
This ongoing trade dispute has prompted China to accelerate its efforts to reduce its reliance on the US market. By focusing on innovation, technology, and domestic consumption, China aims to build a more resilient and self-sufficient economy. This strategic shift is evident in the increased investment in research and development, as well as initiatives to boost domestic demand and support local industries. China has responded to these challenges by diversifying its trading partners and strengthening ties with other economies. This includes forging new trade agreements and deepening economic cooperation with countries across Asia, Europe, and Africa. By expanding its network of trade relationships, China aims to mitigate the impact of US tariffs and ensure continued growth and stability.
The Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership and the Belt and Road Initiative are prime examples of China's proactive engagement in forging new trade agreements. These initiatives not only enhance China's connectivity with other regions, but also create new opportunities for trade and investment. By investing in infrastructure and building stronger economic ties, China is positioning itself as a central player in the global economy and fostering closer economic cooperation with other nations. These efforts are part of a broader strategy to create a more balanced and diversified economic landscape, reducing vulnerability to external shocks and ensuring long-term growth. As the world watches closely, the outcome of these trade tensions will have far-reaching implications for the future of global trade and economic stability.
Section 4, Shifting Gears, China's pivot to domestic consumption and technological innovation. Faced with external pressures, China is undergoing a significant economic transformation, shifting its focus towards domestic consumption and technological innovation as key drivers of growth.
This strategic pivot is aimed at reducing its reliance on exports and fostering a more self-reliant and sustainable economic model. Boosting domestic consumption is central to this shift.
China is taking steps to increase household incomes, improve social safety nets, and foster a more robust consumer culture. These measures are designed to unleash the spending power of China's vast domestic market and create a more balanced and sustainable growth trajectory.
At the same time, China is investing heavily in research and development, particularly in cutting-edge technologies such as artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and biotechnology.
This push for technological self-reliance is seen as essential for China to achieve its economic ambitions and secure its place in the global technology landscape.
Section 5. A shield of strength. Understanding China's increased defense spending. China's decision to increase its defense budget has drawn considerable attention and scrutiny from the international community.
This move comes amidst growing geopolitical tensions and reflects China's determination to modernize its armed forces and safeguard its national interests.
The increase in defense spending should be understood in the context of China's expanding global footprint and its desire to protect its growing economic interests.
As China's influence grows, so too does its need to project power and secure its maritime trade routes, energy supplies, and overseas investments.
While some observers view China's military modernization with concern, China maintains that its defense policy is purely defensive in nature. China emphasizes its commitment to peaceful development and its role as a responsible stakeholder in the international system.